So today's topic is about the art of conversation. So what is it actually? It is about communication skill that has specific objective, which is to build connection and relation. So let me repeat. This is a part of communication skill that has specific purpose, which is to build connection and relationship. But before I proceed to the main topics, may I know first, raise your hand, yeah, of course, virtually, or just give comments if this is the first time you see me. So let me repeat, if this is the very first time you see me, then raise your hand or just give comments. Okay, oh, it seems like so many, yeah. It indicates one thing, yeah, that the speaker is not yet famous. Because I'm not a celebgram and also I'm not an artist in a movie. And because of that, I will introduce myself for a brief seconds. So I will introduce myself. My name is David Pranata. Currently, I'm a trainer and also a writer. And to make things sure, yeah, my name is David Pranata, yeah, not David Prananta. Because actually in the flyer, David Prananta, yeah. But before the OC feel guilty, let me repeat, yeah, this is okay because I don't know why so many times people misspell my name. One story. At that time, I was giving a seminar in university, and the MC proudly said, "Please help us welcome the speaker, Pak David Pratama." You. But that's also okay. The one things that I suggest is not happen because I ever saw also in Toastmasters program, the Tom introduced speaker. Please help us welcome our speaker. And then she came to the speaker and asked, "Sorry, Pak, what's your name?" Don't let that happen to you, yeah. Okay, so my name is David Pranata, and actually I'm a long lost member from Toastmasters because I joined Toastmasters maybe 15 years ago. And I got lots of benefit from Toastmasters. So I participate in a speech contest, and I don't know, maybe my luck is good, so I can become a second runner-up in district level. But it was back then. Currently, I don't think that I have hopes in joining contest. Maybe I will lose at the club levels. So in 2012 and 2013, I also become the training coordinators. Maybe nowadays you familiar with the words TLI chair. So back then I was the TLI chair, so I traveled to Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei, deliver trainings about communication and leadership for Toastmasters Club in these three countries. However, up until that time, I just do it for Toastmasters. And as you may know, Toastmasters is a non-profit organization. So after the training, what I receive is, okay, thank you, Pak, yeah. And they give me lots of souvenir. So in my house full of plaques, certificates. In fact, I also have mug with my picture on it, yeah. But one thing that I did not get is the income. But actually, that's the one thing that I need the most. So it actually gives me inspiration. Hey, this organization, international organization, they put belief in you. And why don't you start to believe in yourself? So at that time, I switched my career. Previously, I worked in industry, manufacturing, and then I switched. I become a professional trainer and professional speaker. So up until now, maybe more than 10 years, I've been in this business, and I do have several clients that already use my services, just like you see at the bottom. So actually, that's my introduction as a trainer. And as a writer, I actively write on my blog, www.david-pranata.com. Currently, I also publish 2 books, Speak with Power and Communication Made Easy. Both are published by Gramedia Groups. So that's my introduction. Now let's move on to the main topics. But before that, I do have, let's say, one foundation for this training. That foundation is participation equals value. It means if you want to get the most out of these sessions, you need to participate. And because we are online, you can actually participate by doing simple things. Give your comments, and maybe if I ask you to raise your hands, just do it virtually. Just like what we do now. Okay, so anyone, if you are ready to continue with the main topic, just type on the chat, say that Ready. I am ready, so that I know that you are ready for the main sessions. Thank you, Bu Anna. You are ready. Okay, good. Let's do this. Good. So it seems like that you are ready. So let us continue. The art of conversation is actually a part of communication. Anyone here know what is actually the meaning of communication, the definition of communication? If you know, just turn on your mic and share your opinion. What is the definition of communication? Tadi kan
Exchange
sudah janji.
information.
Exchange information. Give a round of applause for Toastmasters Anna. Wah, saya suka kalau pesertanya aktif-aktif ya. So communication is actually the process of sending and receiving the message. So actually there are two things, sending and receiving. And we do this by two things, which is verbal and non-verbal. Verbal means we communicate using our words. How we communicate verbally? We can speak, write, listening, and reading. So actually if you learn language, you learn these four components of communication. Let's say you learn English. You learn writing, listening, and reading. And most people, they come to Toastmaster to learn about speaking. Verbal communication is actually what we communicate. This is the content of our communication. But apart from verbal communication, we also have the non-verbal communication. This is about how we convey our message. Anyone can give examples. What are the examples of non-verbal communication? You can turn on your microphone and also you can type on the chat button.
I think non-verbal communication includes like facial expression, body gestures.
Gestures.
Yeah.
Wow, give a round of applause for Daisy. Yeah. Thank you. It seems like everyone is already expert in communication. Yeah. So
body gesture.
non-verbal. Huh?
Yeah,
gesture.
non-verbal communication is body gesture. You pointing someone. Yeah.
Wah, thank you Toastmasters Hasan ya. Oh, I love deliver training in Toastmasters because sometimes when I deliver it in, like say, one of my sessions, who wants to answer? It seems like crick, nobody answers. But then Toastmasters everyone, okay, we do that, yeah. So nonverbal communication is actually how you deliver your message. Some of examples you can communicate using your eye contact, gesture, postures, and also tonality. Question: when there is a mismatch, yeah, not synchron between your verbal and non-verbal words, which one do you think people believe more, your verbal or non-verbal?
Non-verbal speak louder than verbal.
Non-verbal, okay. So let me give you an example. Let's say, yeah, Toastmaster Hasan, yeah, he went home, yeah, and Toastmaster Hasan already married?
Yeah.
Oh, already married, yeah. So
Yes,
let's say he came home now he meet with his wife, yeah, and then Toastmaster Hasan asks, "Hey, honey, how are you?" And then his wife replied, "I'm okay." Toastmaster Hasan, do you think that your wife is okay?
Yeah, I think it's not okay.
Oh, not okay, yeah. If Toastmaster Hasan think, oh, lucky,
Oh,
yeah,
it's angry to me. It's she mad to me.
everything is under control. So not long after that, usually there is a conflict between them. Why? Because we believe more in the tonality, not on the actual words. So basically, that is the basic of communication. So it's the process of sending, receiving message. There are two ways to communicate, verbal and non-verbal, because we will use this foundation throughout the sessions. Okay, so now the art of conversation. Yeah, let's go to the specific one. Why do we need this? There is a quote that summarizes all of these things. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So it means we need relation. We want to be the person that they know, like, and trust. Because if we do this, it will make the relationship become smoother. And also, let's say if you want to persuade people, it will be easier for you. Now the question is how we become the person that they know, like, and trust. There are 3 steps. And those 3 steps are, number 1 is to build impression. Number 2, to build rapport, or say quickly connect, quickly click with the others. And the last one is the conversation itself. It's about how we improve relation. So we will move on in these 3 steps. Let's start with number 1, which is to build impressions. Now, I do have personal story about the importance of first impression, actually. Yeah. So the story goes like this. I do have friends, long lost friends. One day he texted me, "Hey, Pak David, how are you?" And then I reply, "Oh, I'm good. How about you? And by the way, do you still work at that same company?" And then he sent me his reply back, "Oh, David, I'm okay. But currently, I'm no longer working in that company. I work in the new company. Now I work in a company that focus on commodity investing. Hey, by the way, do you have free time? Maybe we can meet." Okay, if you were me, yeah, guess what happened if, let's say, I say, yes, let's meet, and what happened during the meeting? Anyone can guess? Type the answers on the chat. Yeah. What happened? Yeah. Oh, Toastmasters Anna said he will offer you some things. Yeah. It seems like that Toastmaster Anna is very knowledgeable in these matters. I don't know as a victim, sebagai pelaku atau sebagai korban, ya. Bu Lily also said, Pak Sujuk also promoting something. Yeah. Well, you know the strategy very well, yeah. I also have the same feeling. Wow, if I meet him, then he will try to sell me something, a product from his new company. But since we are friends, then I said, okay, so let's meet. Yeah. So we make appointment in a cafe, in a mall. So actually from distance, I saw someone else. And I thought, oh, that must be his boss. Yeah. So right from the moment we met, and then he start to deliver a presentation. Hey, Pak David, by the way, do you know about commodity investing? This is blah, 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 blah. And he start to present his business. Up until to the point I said, hey, Pak, wait. Do you think it might be better if we order something first? So I call the waiter. The waiter come. And then the waiter asked me first, Pak, what do you order? To feel like macho man, I said order double espresso. Yeah? And then he asked my friends, oh, Pak, what do you order? And my friend said, oh, sorry, I don't order anything. Yeah. And then the waiter asked his boss, how about you, Pak? Do you order something? He said, oh, sorry, I don't order anything. Yeah. Okay, if you were me, do you think everything goes normal or something strange? Something's weird happen, yeah? What do you think? Something strange, Toastmaster Anna. Weird, yeah? Anyone can share your opinion? What is the strange or weird thing? Toastmaster Anna, they don't want to pay. Yeah? They will not pay your drink. Agree, I also have the same feeling, yeah? Wow. Because I think, wow, they don't want to pay me. So it means like I pay myself to sit here and listen to their presentation. That makes actually not so good first impression. And at that time, before they promote their products, I already have my conclusion, which is I will not buy something from them. Why? Because of the first impression that did not match. Yeah. So actually, that is the importance of first impression. And then now, let me ask another things. First impression, which one determine first impression most? Is it verbal communication or non-verbal communication? Verbal or non-verbal? Non-verbal. Okay, good. Yeah. So that's why I will offer you some tips about some of the non-verbal signs that actually can build your first impression. The first one is open body language. So if you want to make a good first impression, make sure you have open body language. Some of the examples of closed body language, let's say you hold a book or maybe a laptop in front of you like this, because it creates a barrier between you and your listeners. Another example, let's say when you do a presentation, don't stand behind your laptop unless you do it online, yeah? But if you do it offline, don't just stand behind the tables or behind your laptops, because it creates close body language. Another example when you deliver presentation, close body language is when you clench your hands just like this. Is also a sign of mild close body language. And also don't put your hands on the pockets. That's also a sign of the close body language. Okay, another tips for creating good first impression using your non-verbal language. Fronting. Fronting means body orientation. Make sure when you meet with the others, your torso, and tops align with your speaking partner. Yeah. And the last one is don't forget about the eye contact, because eye contact will signal confidence and trust. Aim for 50 to 70%. Below 50, you don't seem like a confident person. And above 70, it indicates dominance. Yeah, and you don't want to create that. Yeah? So that is the first step. Yeah. By the way, Toastmaster Hasan, just for checking, 18 minutes already. Oke ya, ternyata cepat juga ya. Okay, second steps is about building rapport. It's about how we can quickly connect and click with the others, even to the person whom you never meet before. I will offer you one tips, which is to find similarity. Why? Because we love people who are same or similar with us. For examples, yeah, anyone here has hobby watching football? Anyone who love watching football? Oh, Pak Alvin. Okay. Anyone here who love favorite football club is Liverpool? Wah, Pak Alvin ini rasanya Manchester United ini. Bukan jadi teman. Oh, Pak Aldi ya. Liverpool fans, Pak Aldi? Ya. Something very simple. Let's say you meet a friends, just like today, I meet with Pak Aldi. And it turns out we know that both of us, we are Liverpool fans. Let's say if we meet personally, suddenly we can quickly connect. Why? Because one simple thing. Both of us are Liverpool fans. This is about find similarity, yeah? So what are the topics that you can find similarities? You can find similarity in these three areas. First one is you can find people whom you actually both of you know. And then the second one, situation. Let's say you were born at the same city, or you had your school at the same school. And the last one is find similarities in hobby. For the examples, you love the same football club, and also maybe you have the same hobby, you love to play guitar. Yeah, that's another examples. I also do have another personal story about having the same hobby. The story is, at that time, I was about to meet a person. He is a radio manager, and I'm about to come to his office to offer the public speaking training proposals. But before I met him, I did some research. I Googled on the internet, and then I found out that actually he is a heavy metal music lover. And for those of you who may not know, I'm also a heavy metal music lovers. Saya suka musik metal. So when we meet, actually, most of the conversation, 80% of the conversation is actually about metal music. We chat happily. Oh, Pak, what is your favorite band? Hey, have you ever attended this concert before? 80%. Only 20% is actually about the proposal itself. But at that day, I went home and my proposal was approved. Do you know why? Because in heavy metal, we are united. Not about the content of the proposals, but about because we do have similarities. We both love heavy metal music. Those are the simple things that actually can build connection and relation. Okay, so that is another example. Nah, so if you want to build a stronger rapport, actually you can find similarity that is unique and specific. For example, let's say, which one do you think is stronger? That both of you love pop music or both of you love metal music. So which one do you think is stronger? The first one is both of you love pop music, and the second one is both of you love metal music. The answer is metal music. Why?
Metal.
Yeah, because not many people love metal music, but so many people love pop music. So that is the first tip to strengthen the similarity. And the second one is if the similarities that you found has emotional aspect, it will create the bond become stronger. For example, some of my training participants, I did some exercise to find similarities between them. And then when during the report, they mentioned, both of us actually come from broken home. Our parents get divorced. It creates strong bond. Another example, Pak, both of us ever experienced keguguran, lost the baby, it creates strong bond. So if you can find something that has emotional aspect on it, it will create the rapport become stronger. Okay, and still about finding similarity, also match the body language and how you speak. Another examples about this. Since I'm a professional trainer and I also sell my own service, sometimes I need to make a phone calls with my prospective clients. And when I make a phone calls during them, actually, I also notice how they speak. Sometimes if they speak Japanese, which can be indicated by they keep saying gih most, then I'm also from Central Java to be exact. I'm from Kudus, Jawa Tengah. And then by that time, I switch my language. I no longer speak informal bahasa Indonesia, but I start to speak, loh Pak, sampean ini saking Jawa Tengah tak Pak? Ya Allah, saking Demak toh Pak. Aku asli saka Kudus Pak. Maybe this is the first time in Toastmaster meeting the speaker speak in Japanese, But it's just for example, But the moment I switch using Japanese language, it build connection even more, So usually that type of clients, I can secure the deal, So that is how when you can match the way you speak, So actually that is the second step and the last one. And so the red light is already turned on, It's about conversation, Conversation, many people think, oh, I want to become a good conversation partner. So it means I need to know lots of things. I need to know about so many recent gossips and everything. I have to be interesting. But the communication expert Dale Carnegie said, if you want to be interesting, then don't try to be interesting, but instead be interested in people. So try to show your interest in other people. And in order to become interested with the other people, actually there are two things that you need to do, which is by become a good listeners. So hone your listening skill. And the second one is also become interested in other people by ask them question. Both of these skill, listening skill and asking skill, if I deliver it in real trading, it's like another full 2-hour session already. But up until this point, we just need to know that, okay, so we need to be interested in other people. How to become interested? By listen and ask question. That is how we show interest. And by show our interest to other people's, we can become interesting conversation partner. So actually, those are three steps to build connection and relation. Thank you so much for the session, And these are some of the listening cue that you can show non-verbal communication, non-verbal sign to show whether you are listening, so that people will feel that you respect them. People will truly feel that you are interested in them, By the way, if you need the soft copy of the slides, you can download it in this link ya. david-pranata.com bonus minus seminar. You can download the slide over there. So I guess now it's already red. So it means my time is up. Now we move on to the Q&A session. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah.